prevalence of cancel culture, we've touched on that a lot here. It has become a dangerous aspect, actually, of American society. From getting your Twitter account suspended for having conservative values, that's one thing. But having your business destroyed where you can no longer make money is another matter entirely. And joining us now to discuss is someone who knows all too well what happens with that. He was a victim of cancel culture himself, former founder and CEO of Papa John's, John Schnatter. Thank you so much for joining us, John. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
John, so when you look at what's happening, really across the country today in terms of people being targeted, losing their businesses, their livelihoods, as a result, their employees as well, what are your thoughts?
Well, I think that there's no due process. I think they jump to conclusions and people get hurt very, very badly without, again, due process. And that's just wrong. And, you can't prejudice on the basis of gender, race, heritage, nationality, et cetera, but you can prejudice on the basis of somebody's conservative values. That in itself is just wrong.
Let me ask you, in your case, what you think should have been done differently, because ultimately when they did some investigation, the damage had kind of already been done to you, and ultimately there was nothing of substance at the level, especially, that people are accusing you of. So what would have changed that outcome? Well,
the board of directors should have done an investigation like we did with Louis Freeh, which would explain what happened, which was completely antithetical to what was printed in the news. But Papa John's had two board members that wanted me out for personal reasons to their own benefit financially, and they got the rest of the board to go along with it. And basically, I had a weak board that violated Delaware law. They didn't follow due process. They didn't do an investigation. And if they would have come up with what Louis Freeh came up with, Director Freeh, that there was nothing racist in my comments. The tape that we did I was completely anti-racist, and the follow-up comments by Laundry Service completely exonerate me and indict them in that they said, hey, we set the guy up. We were out to hurt him.
John, I'd like to get you to discuss another topic for us today, the Democrats' push to raise the minimum wage. I know that you recently wrote this op-ed for Real Clear Politics. It's called "The Economy Isn't a Pizza, but Small Business Cost Is." And it explains that raising the federal minimum wage from $7.25 an hour to $15 an hour will be harmful to small business entrepreneurs and the people that they employ. And, it's amazing to me because they're not stopping at $15. This could go up to $24. Explain to folks, as a business person, someone that built your business, how will that impact small businesses across the country?
Well, economics 101. Resources are finite, and in small business, they're very finite. They're very limited. If you look at some of the great books, Good to Great, for example, a business has to have three things. It has to have best in the class, a passion for what they do, and the business model has to work. And Papa John's business model falls apart around $10, $11, $12 an hour, depending on what part of the country you're in. And the whole intent of raising, this is the point, the whole intent of raising minimum wage is to help the worker. When you raise it double or this drastically, you start laying people off. So the very thing you're trying to do is help the little guy, which is great. We all want everybody to make more money, and I think there should be an increase in minimum wage. But when you double it, you destroy that economic engine of a Papa John's business model, and thus you have to lay people off, so you have the law of unintended consequences. So to treat resources like they're infinite, small business owners don't have that luxury.
Yeah, so I think we're almost out of time here, but I did want to summarize at the end of your op-ed, you said less government intervention, less regulation, create as many jobs as possible, and that's the answer.
Amen. Yes, less regulation, let entrepreneurs be entrepreneurs. That's what makes America great.
All right.
Yeah, really. John, thank you so much for joining us, sir.
Thank you.
Hi, Emma Reckenberg here. If you like this video, there's a whole lot more to see on Newsmax TV. You can watch for free right here on our YouTube live stream and be the first one here each time our experts break down real news. Just hit that subscribe button, ring the bell icon, and stay with us on America's fastest growing cable news channel, Newsmax TV.